I'm Jenna.
Nice to meet you,
Nice
Nicola.
to meet you too. How's your day going?
Pretty good. How was yours?
It's great, thanks. I just wanted to thank you for coming in today.
Yes, thanks for interviewing me.
Of course. As you know, this interview is just going to be for the Locomotive Public Relations Director position. First, I'm going to tell you a little bit about the interview itself. We're just going to ask you a few questions to assess your experience and skills and how you meet the criteria that's imperative for this position. Then you can ask me any questions that you might have, and I'm going to tell you a little bit more about the company.
Okay.
Awesome.
Do you mind if I give you my resume and cover letter?
Not at all. I love that.
So I printed out 2 cover letters. I wasn't sure who I should address it to, so there's one to you and then one to your Human Resources Director.
Wonderful.
Miss Andrews.
I like that. Thank you for being prepared.
No problem.
So Mocha is a coffee company located in Portland, where we offer a delivery service to customers and businesses. As the public relations director, you'd be responsible for creating our presence in the social media and in the public.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just going to take some notes during this interview. Don't worry. Just there's no right or wrong answer to any of these things, any of these questions. So we're just going to start with. Can you tell me a little about yourself that's relevant to this position?
Okay, yeah. I am a communication major, so obviously that has quite a bit to do with public relations. Being able to communicate verbally and written is really important to, connecting with people, connecting with the community. I also have quite a bit of experience working with websites. Not too much professionally with social media, however, that's something that I would like to get into, and that's one of the reasons I applied for this position. I've worked 2 main jobs where I pretty much do website editing, which is really important, I think, to public relations, especially now with connecting social media with the website to the company. I also did an internship a couple semesters ago that was basically writing for newsletters, writing for kind of presentation of the particular company that I worked for, and that was the Information Services Department on campus. Obviously a little bit different than coffee, but the skills writing for the web, writing for press release is very transferable across organizations. And I also have a lot of experience working in groups as well as independently. Mm-hmm. That's one thing about working with websites and working with in organizations, is that a lot of times you have to do stuff by yourself because a lot of it is very easy to do by yourself. But then you also have to know how to connect with the company that you're working for, with the people, the brand of the company, and that requires working in a group. One particular example is I worked with the World Conference on Science and Soccer this past summer with Dr. Terry Favero on campus. And that was a big event, over 300 participants, international participants, and I helped one with the website information, so that's that one part of public relations, but then also at the event itself, so working with people and making sure that everybody was, everything was going the way it should.
Wow, that's really cool.
Thank you.
Awesome. Okay, so we're, as a hypothetical question, we're doing an advertisement campaign to 45 to 70-year-olds. Mm-hmm. So what form of social media would you use to reach this audience, and why?
Well, 45 to 70-year-olds, I don't want to generalize, but are not on as much social media as people in the 20 to 30-year-old range. So I'd probably try and target them mostly by email and probably also print media, just because some people really like to get stuff in the mail. And in the Portland area also, I think it's really easy to do. You can just send stuff out. You can put flyers at different locations and things like that. But then I would also want to put something on social media just to get the message out there. So even if it's maybe not reaching that particular target audience, maybe it's reaching people younger, they have parents, they have grandparents. So I wouldn't focus as much on that, but I would definitely want to incorporate it.
Awesome. Great, thank you. So last month we made higher profits than projected, but the team is divided on how to spend it. One person wants to hire another assistant, while another wants to spend the money on new video editing equipment for advertising. How would you deal with this conflict?
Well, the Probably the best way to deal with that conflict would be look at the organization as a whole and see what the organization needs. Not knowing too much about what kind of video production software you have, I can only say that it might be a good idea to look into that, because that is something, especially with public relations, that would be helpful. But if the organization, if too many people, too much time is being taken out from other people's workloads, then it might be good to hire an assistant. And I think looking at it as an organizational spending, as opposed to like one person saying, well, we should spend it on this, and another person saying we should spend it on that. It should be the entire team's decision. And that's really important to involve everyone so that everyone gets along and everyone understands why the decision was made.
All right, thank you. So Mocha is introducing a decaffeinated sweet coffee option for the winter months that we hope will draw in families. How would you coordinate production of a commercial with an agency?
Well, winter, I associate with Christmas a lot, so I'd probably make something Christmassy. But I'd reach out to probably a local company to help with that, just because you are a Portland company, and from what I know, it seems like you really want to emphasize the fact that we're for the Portland community, coffee for Portland, about Portland, things like that, and it would be good to have something local, and then also reaching out to local media so we can publicize whatever video production you come up with, whatever advertisement. It would be good to connect with the local companies, more so, I would think, than larger, just because of the company itself.
Okay. Do you think there's some past experience that might assist you in coordinating with an ad agency?
By that past experience, what do you mean? Experience, you mean like networking, or do you mean that things that I've done?
Either professional experience or networking.
Well,
Personal experience.
personal experience. Okay. Well, I mean, I've met people, a lot of people working with websites and things like that. That they know people, other people know people. I'm sure I could find someone who would be able to help with advertising, and also, once you're a delivery system, you have customers. It's important, I think, to reach out to the customers and see what they think and see if they know people. That kind of just builds the connection between the company and the customers, especially since it is a delivery service. It's nice to have that connection.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd probably try and reach out to people that I know, but then also people within the company, and so customers and other people like that.
Awesome. How would you market Mocha as unique?
Well, I think it's pretty unique, the fact that you have a coffee delivery service. I think that's what stands out the most, and I think that really should be emphasized. And also the fact that it's a local company. I think a lot of Portland organizations really like having a Portland local company. That's just kind of the culture in the city. And it's a culture that we want to emphasize with Mocha and working with, whether or not we work with businesses or just individuals, it's important to remember that this organization is local and Portland.
Okay. Do you have any questions for me? Those are all the questions I have for you.
I just wanted to ask what motivated you to get involved with the coffee industry and Mocha.
I started with a passion for coffee several years ago, and I never understood why delivery service wasn't a business already, and I thought that Portland, being a coffee connoisseur sort of city, would be a great place to start that, and we all found each other, and we decided to begin it, kind of as entrepreneurs of that.
That's great. I think it's a great organization. It's a really different idea from anything I'd heard before.
Thank you. So I like what you said about, you said a few things that really stood out to me. I really liked how you said that we should emphasize kind of the Portland localized delivery service culture. And I like that you were able to come up with an idea so quickly for your commercial with the agency. I thought that was you demonstrated some really strong project management skills. And as far as, have you dealt with conflict a lot before? Because it seems like you said a few things about dealing with conflict and hearing everyone's side of the story that really demonstrated that.
I've dealt with it a little bit. I've worked in information services, and it's kind of a stereotype, but a lot of times people who work with computers don't necessarily have as good people skills.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely not everybody, but there's been a few, and it's just kind of, you have to know where everyone's coming from in that situation. I've also taken a class on conflict at the University of Portland. That's really helpful.
Oh, that's great. Awesome. Okay, thank you. Mocha aims as a company to provide basically the best coffee we can to our customers and create a welcoming and friendly sort of family environment. We really value community and strive to be sustainable in all that we do. And a couple of things you said really embodied that, I think. We hope to create a sense of family within our employees or our team that can transfer over to our clients. So if you're hired as a public relations director, you will be expected to communicate verbally, effective as well as in writing. You'll be expected to have strong organizational skills, assist in the production of advertisements, and be able to research the market effectively. And as I said before, you'll be in charge of creating the presence overall in the community through the outreach of target audiences. Do you have any final thoughts or questions for me?
Not any final questions. I love coffee. I'm really excited for the organization, and thank you again for asking me to come in for an interview.
Okay, thank you again for coming in today. You expect to hear back in about a week via email about the position. It was really wonderful to meet you, and thank you for giving me your time.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, have a wonderful
You
day.
too.